Tottenham sucks. Don't care if the top of the league, the Spurs suck. Tottenham sucks. Tottenham sucks. Don't care what you think, the Spurs suck.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The only thing that makes it worthwhile getting up this early when your team is not playing is watching Tottenham lose. Serial bottlers. They didn't even bottle this one because West Ham grabbed a hold of this match from the 5th minute on, and they had it. Yes, Tottenham seemed to have control the second half, but West Ham was solid, and they kept Harry Kane, Gareth Bale, Son, they kept them out of the back of the net. And I'm so excited to have on a special guest whose team actually won, because we're on a long string of inviting guests here to talk about their team, and their team loses. So I'm so happy that we actually have a winner here on the show. Everybody, this is Wayne. Well, that's Mark. This is Wayne. What's going on, Wayne?
The string is broken. We finally have a winner on the show.
Yes, and as much as I complain about being up at 7 a.m., Wayne was up at 6 a.m., 5:30 probably. And he's from the podcast West Ham is Why We Drink, and the boy is drinking right now. Win or lose, the Hammers booze, I'd say, right? What's
always,
going on,
mate,
Wayne?
Always, mate. Just on top of the world, mate. On top of the world. Watch out, Europe. Here we come. I know it's a bit early, but what the hell? Enjoy it while the ride lasts.
Dude, yeah. I mean, if this was before Christmas, I'd tell you to chill out. You know, you guys got plenty of time to fucking go sink like you're attached to a hammer.
It can still happen. It's West Ham.
That's a big hammer.
Still happen. So yeah, I was just thinking about it, and if West Ham finish above Arsenal, I'll worry about you guys next year.
Did you say if?
Yeah,
if West Ham finished above Arsenal.
Wayne, I think you're going to be in good
Arsenal,
shape. I don't think you have anything to worry about.
The team that plays in red, right?
Yeah, the team that beat you, okay?
Yeah, well, no, we beat ourselves that day, mate. Let's be quite clear.
No doubt.
Yeah, but listen, if you stay home jerking off, you don't say I got laid last night.
Well, I do. I'm married.
All right, I got you there.
Oh.
Sorry, Kim.
So I really enjoyed that match. My daughter, my 3-year-old daughter, woke up with me, and she comes and she's like, "Can we watch something?" And I was like, "No, look, we're watching this. You'll love it. If they score, they blow bubbles." And she's like, "Oh, I like that team. Score a goal." And then they score right away, and bubbles come out. So the whole rest of the time, my daughter's there going, more bubbles. And I'm like, yes, more bubbles.
There you go. You need to teach her the song, mate. Teach her the song. You
know, blowing bubbles. Pretty
He's only 3. I mean, you know,
they fly so high up in the sky, and just like my dreams, they die.
I'll give you 10 out of 10 for singing the song, being an Arsenal supporter, but I'll give you 7 out of 10 for the British accent.
Well, see, that's a whole stadium of British accents. So I'm trying to even them all out there. No, my buddy, a good buddy of mine that I've traveled all over the country with, is a Hammer. His last name is Hamer. It's Hammer with missing one M, but he's a West Ham fan. And so, yeah, he taught me the song, and I was like, how come your song is so depressing?
Yeah,
the song you sing when you're winning.
You know, it's funny because my partner on the podcast, West Ham is Why We Drink, Adam, he decided about a year and a half ago that he didn't like the song anymore, and he decided to write his own version of it. So which we took a lot of stick for, and his was very, very positive. And him and I are competing all the time. And one of the things that we did is I lost a competition, like I always bloody do. Yeah. And I agreed to sing his song, but his version is actually not too bad. I mean, of course, you know, we are going to edit that bit out, aren't we? Or is this live?
This is live.
This is as live as we can.
But it's a West Ham fan's life. It's all about, those dreams that just fade and die. So fortune's always hiding, mate.
Yeah.
But you would know that being an Arsenal supporter this year, wouldn't you?
We just don't admit it. Like
we don't have a song that sings it out.
We don't have a song that exactly describes our plight every year, but maybe we should. Of like, we're the big six. We're the big six. It's funny how we finish below the big six, something like that.
I think the Arsenal song should be Tottenham sucks. Tottenham sucks.
Yeah.
I think that's everyone's second song, isn't it?
Exactly. I made that song when they were top of the league, and I was just getting so many messages about how they're going to win the league. And so I was like, look, I don't care if you're top of the league. And Arsenal were in a relegation battle for a minute. I was like,
well, I mean, we've got to show them some respect, because remember, this is their year. They're going to do it all.
Exactly. All or nothing, right? I think
one or the other, right?
Nothing.
Yeah. They'll be 100% on that 50% side of it.
Exactly. I was like, look at Tottenham. You shouldn't have even given yourselves that option for the nothing. You should have just gone all. Yeah, and we're going for it all.
And it's a shame, because they're a very good. They're a good team. They're a really good team. Yeah, right. They're full of crap. They're awful. They're bloody terrible. I mean, Kane's only as good as he is because he just backs into everybody in the box and gets penalties all the time. So, I'm just say the way I see it. I think they're a bunch of bloody cheats. They always have been, and they always will be. Yeah. Whiners. And now they've got the king of the whiners managing them, haven't they? Come on. Mourinho. Death by bubbles, Mourinho. Death by bubbles.
Death by bubbles. And Gareth Bale now, the chosen one, the other chosen one who's coming in to save the franchise.
The one.
His undershirt. If he were to take off his kit, he's wearing a shirt that says, "I'd rather be golfing." Like, I know it. I know that's what he's wearing right there.
I do love that hairdo, though. I love that hairdo. He's got that little bit down the back that just covers up that bald patch. I mean, being completely bald myself, I can really relate to it.
We're all there. We're just not multi-millionaires that could get it fixed.
True, very true. Yeah, he's been a real disappointment, hasn't he?
Mr. Tom, good morning. He says today was the first time Mourinho conceded in the first 5 minutes of both halves of an EPL match. Oh, well, good. Breaking records every day. Tottenham Hotspur.
All across the league.
Yeah, it's hammering time. Get them sledgehammers out like HHH does.
Yeah, he's a big big fan as well. Triple H is a big fan of West Ham. So I'll get anything out. I mean, I'm just so psyched today. I mean, this is the first time in 15 meetings that David Moyes has actually managed to beat Mourinho as well. So it's turning out, regardless of results on the pitch or whatever, it's turning out to be a great season for Moisey. And I'm just chuffed to bits for the guy. I really am.
Dude, I mean, listen, on our first, I think it was our first episode this year. Yeah, we did some predictions. Like, each person on the Stoop did some predictions, and our stats guy was like, honestly, David Moyes is gone in less than 10 matches, because you started the season rough.
Yeah, that schedule was
not even performance wise, just schedule wise. It was deadly, and it was like, there's no way David Moyes gets through this. And now I'd say he's up for manager of the year. Like,
yeah, I would say he is. It's I think he's just he's attacked it by bringing the right players into the mesh. Mm-hmm. I really do. I think that he's brought players in that really care about winning. Not that the players that beforehand didn't, but I really do believe that David Moyes has consolidated that side of the team. And that he's looking to bring in players that are going to help the situation rather than big money players that don't. I mean, the fact that he's like, let Haller go. I mean, you're right, he's our big money signing ever, but he's just not doing what we want him to do. And I was a big fan of Haller before he came on board. And I was like, yeah, let's get him on board. Like the guy's, he's a brilliant goal scorer. But when he came out there, apart from the first, 4 or 5 matches where people were just like shocked at him, he just seemed to have a lack of energy on the ball, or off the ball, to be quite frank. He just had a lack of energy. And, now we've got, I'd rather go with a slim squad that believes in itself than a deep squad that doesn't. And that's what he's done. He's got no choice with our owners, for crying out loud. Gold Sullivan and Brady. GSB out. There you go. Call out to that.
Well, I thought it was bold move to take a hit on Haller, however you say his name,
Yeah.
because you took a
I
hit.
just call him the donkey.
The
He's the
donkey.
donkey.
I
Because-
also was a big fan of him, and I was surprised to see him go.
I was not. I to be honest, when Mikel Antonio went down and Haller was in there, like starting every match, I was like, this guy's useless. This guy's
Yeah.
absolutely useless. He's hanging out like he thinks he's Jamie Vardy or something. He's not. He's not running back. He's not tracking back. His hold up play wasn't very good. The dude's like 8 feet tall, 500 pounds. He's huge.
Yeah, he's a big man.
And he's getting muscled out. And then when he did have open headers, they were off. Like I don't know. So it was at first a complaint about not getting enough, not getting enough stage time or screen time, not getting enough playing time. But then he got the playing time and he was terrible. And so to make that choice to cut your losses and sell, and yeah, you take a hit, but you get a lot of money back. You don't really break even on it. But then you go out and I'm not sure when you got him, but getting Thomas Souček, who knew that? I don't even think he knew that about himself, that he could show up like this. But on top of that, he tells David Moyes to go out and get this guy Soufal.
Oh, I mean, what a pair,
Nobody
right?
knew about him. Nobody knew about him.
No, none of us did. We were all like, what on earth is going on? The moaning about Moyes' decisions was just out of this world crazy. And all of us, we're at the same thought that we thought, who's Souček? And this Soufal kid? Who the hell are they? We've never from Prague. Who the hell are they? But they've just been a godsend, and I think they brought that work ethic that's just shone above everybody else on the team. Souček is, without a shadow of a doubt, he's the next number that's going on my shirt next year once I lose about 40 pounds. But he's, Souček, and look today, blooded and still going at it. I mean, that's a West Ham player. We don't ask a lot.
Yeah.
As a Wolves fan, I was a little tense when that collision happened. Seeing Souček go down, and I was like, he's one of my favorite players on West Ham.
Dude,
that was kind of
Look
exactly.
at it.
The dude's
And he's smiling.
I love it.
You know who's not smiling?
Oh my God. Oh,
does he ever smile?
I think he smiles on the inside.
He looks like he looks like he'd be someone that would hang out outside of a schoolyard. He just has that kind of look about him.
My favorite,
kind of pacing along the gate.
Oh my God! My favorite moment of him is when he was like, I can't remember, I think he was going into a stadium somewhere. It may have been one of the England matches, and he tries to jump the rope to get over the stanchion, and he fell flat on his face. And that's Mourinho in every sense of the word for me. So I love watching him go down. I really do. It's it's glorious.
I do.
It's glorious.
But I tell you, in the second half, it was a bit of a nail biter there.
Squeaky bum time.
Yeah,
definitely squeaky bum time.
Bale hit the crossbar.
Mm-hmm.
There was a couple where the ball could have just rolled in slowly, and somehow you guys pulled it off. So tell me, you've already told me Souček is fantastic. Soufal has been fantastic, but I think even earlier in the season, the guys who kept you guys going, Jared Bowen.
Oh God, the kid's brilliant. Energy unlimited.
Pablo Fornals as well.
Yep. It's
in the
funny
beginning of the season. In the beginning of the season,
he gets a lot of stick, Pablo Fornals, but he's a worker, and I like to relate what he does to he's like a little wasp. It's like he's always buzzing around and doing something and just sticking his foot in here and stick it in there. But I love the kid. I really do. From the moment he came and played for us, I thought the kid's got some heart. He seems like a good person. And as a West Ham fan, what you want is a person that's going to play for the team and give no excuses. And has he made some major screw ups? Yeah, he has. He's not been fantastic, but I'll take him any day of the week. I really will. And Dawson, what a pickup, Dawson. Oh my God!
When did you guys get him?
That was in crike, I can't even remember now. It's I'm still suffering from a little bit of too much of this, I think, because it was actually it was up to around about there this morning
you've
when I
got a
started.
good start on that one, don't you?
But yeah, I think it was back we got him at the beginning of the season, didn't we? Yeah. We got him at the beginning of the season. We picked him up straight away, and everyone's like, who's this kid that he's second string for Watford? And I tell you, I don't. If I'm sure you guys read all of the BS in the papers and everything. What Troy Deeney said to him about what, you're going to West Ham? He goes, no, mate. He says, I'm going to a championship team this year, a team that's going to play in the championship, and I think he's just proved it. Plus, the geezer's got some ears on him, and check out them ears he's got. It's like he could probably pick up satellite TV when he's out there muscling all of those forwards around. I just love the kid. I really love the kid.
Yeah, he's been absolutely fantastic. And then another guy who's shown up, and I hate that I feel like every episode I'm mentioning an ex-Arsenal keeper. But there we go, right there. Look at him with the badge. Look at him with the badge. No, I mean he's had terrible seasons. He's had terrible seasons. This is not one of them.
No, I tell you, and I think it really shows. When we had that, who was that kid? I can't even think of his name now. The one that when Fabianski was out injured, we had some absolute useless, and his name escapes me now because he's gone. So I don't care.
He's that good.
Don't look at us. We've exhausted our knowledge of. We've exhausted our knowledge of West Ham in the first. 15
sorry,
minutes
mate. I'm sorry, but and I don't have a deep knowledge. I'm just all about drinking and singing. But
there you go.
But when Roberto was back there, I mean, it just showed how much we really needed Fabianski. And although Martins came in and did a good job, I don't feel completely confident with Randolph. I really don't. Fabianski, when he gets in there, when he has a good game, he has a blinder of a match, and he's just and he's getting on as well. Was he like 30, 38, 39, I think?
I feel like we got rid of him 15 years ago.
Yeah, well, he was. We used to joke and call him Flappy Hansky when he played for you lot in Arsenal, because he was always like, he couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
So when we got him on board, first of all, we're like, what have we signed this guy for? I think it's probably one of the only decent signings from the Pellegrini era. Probably the only one. Yeah. To be quite frank. So the only one that I would say could go down as a bit of a legend.
Wow. Well, Mr. Tom says, I feel sorry for the next team to roll into London Stadium.
And
it's Leeds
there
United.
it is.
There
He's
you
a
go.
Leeds United fan.
That'll be a fun match to watch.
I've had some brawls with Leeds United fans over the years.
Well, that's definitely going to be. We're going to have you on our Thursday show. The director's a Leeds United fan, so got to be careful.
Well, we all have our cross to bear, don't we?
He's also a Rangers fan, a Giants fan. Leeds United are definitely fun, and I'm super excited about that match. So we'll be talking about it on Thursday. It's definitely going to be on the weekend watch list. Excuse me.
Hey, and who does your graphics? Because I've got to tell you, right over here, it's perfect. It looks like the chicken laid a fucking egg.
And that's what happened today.
They laid an egg today, didn't they? Way! Woohoo!
John, put up the video. I cracked the egg.
We cracked it. Here we go. We're just the posted soldiers dipping in there.
But that should be a fantastic match. I'm interested to see you guys, because I haven't watched a ton of West Ham matches this season, but I've watched a few. But when people go up against Leeds United, they either try to match them with their pace and their energy and try and fly up and down the pitch with them, or they try and sit back and don't let Leeds United counter. So I'm interested to see what you guys will be doing, because I have no clue.
I think it's interesting too. I'm a big proponent of always attacking. I really am. That's just me personally. I like a good attacking team, and I think if you're sitting back, you're just inviting the other team to come nick it off of you. But having said that, the tactics that Moyes has deployed in the past, and of course we played Leeds United once already. We sat back a little bit. and we waited for them to wear themselves out a little bit. So I could see either one of those strategies really working with us. Bielsa's just a brilliant manager. He really is. He's and they're a good, fast, hard-hitting, never stop type of team. And I think it's going to be a challenge. I really do think it's going to be a challenge trying to put one over on them. Plus, it's we don't have the same squad that we had the last time we played them. We're without the services of Ogbonna. I think that's really going to hurt us. We're very light up in the forward ranks, but although I love the way Jesse Lingard is playing in here, I hope that there's some way that we can keep the lad. I really do.
He's been he's been a good addition for you guys.
Listen, we said when he joined, it was a consensus on our WhatsApp group that he was going to be a non-factor. And then, he's got more goals than I think Liverpool have since he joined.
Well, that's not hard this year, is it?
That's not that hard.
Poor Liverpool. Cool, blimey. I feel bad.
No,
I don't.
No,
I feel bad. I love the fact that it's funny because it probably would have been better for us if Liverpool had actually won that match yesterday.
Yeah.
But it's something about my great granddad was a big Everton supporter. I don't know why, but he was. And so they hold a special place in my heart for me as far as other teams are concerned. And they're doing a great job this year. They really are. So I was cheering for them yesterday. I will admit it. I'm just loving busting the balls of every Liverpool supporter I've ever met.
Yeah,
I really am. It's just been wonderful. And I love watching Klopp totally flounder in his post-match interviews. He doesn't know what to say, does he? He's got no clue. Well, we done this and we changed this, but he don't do that. I mean, like that happy jolly gnome. He's brutal. He's terrible.
It's so much easier when you're winning and winning and winning because he just flashes the new teeth and says something.
He's got too many of them. He's got too many of them. Honest.
Well, he bought them. He bought them, so he could have asked for a couple less, but they probably gave him a deal.
he probably wanted more. He had his jaw surgically altered so that he could fit more teeth in his mouth. So
I'm surprised I don't see more cartoons with that.
Okay, so let's get to some of these comments right here. First, Ian Smith. He's on here. I don't think he likes West Ham based on his comments, but he says all West Ham fans are like this guy.
If that's the case, sign me up because this guy is awesome.
I will take that as a compliment, Ian. Thank you so very much. I appreciate that. I do like to model myself after the typical West Ham drinking and being miserable type of fan.
He says, better for West Ham if Liverpool beat Everton. How the heck does he figure that? I don't know. I mean, Liverpool and Everton are right there. Liverpool and Everton are right there in the same position. So I don't know. I think it'd be about the same. And then he says, this guy's acting like West Ham have won 6 Champions Leagues. Listen, West Ham
he's acting like he beat Tottenham.
West Ham came into the season already in a relegation battle. like that's where you entered the season. I think 17th place was the goal. And now you're talking Europe with a legit chance, and you just beat title contenders.
Oh, it's their year.
Yeah, it's their years. So let's move on to Mr. Tom. He's talking about Leeds.
And I'm gonna point out there that all West Ham fans are like this, and I'll tell you why. Because we don't have anything to sing about other than when we don't get relegated. So as far as I'm concerned right now, you know what? It could all change over the next couple of weeks. I'm enjoying the ride while it lasts. My granddad said to me many years ago, he says, Wayne, he says, you go to the match. He says, you enjoy your mates. You enjoy the football as much as you can. But at the end of the day, they're always going to disappoint you, mate. So you better find a good reason for going. So
yeah. Well, West Ham is actually one of the like 9 longest running Premier League teams.
Yeah.
Currently, I believe I saw that when they were talking about the new the voting and things like that, the voting changes earlier in the season.
I think we just snuck in. We would have been a shoo-in if we hadn't have messed up so much. But I think we just snuck in the fact that we're an old second division team that actually went and won the FA Cup at one point. So
Yeah, but you guys haven't been relegated in a long time, correct?
yeah, it's been a couple of years.
No, it's been like
no,
decades.
it's been 2000. I think it was 2002, 2010. Was it we went down? I think it was 2010. That was a tough season, and and plus we have the honour of being one of the only Premier League teams to get relegated with 42 points. So, which is it's some great proud record to uphold and say that was our West Ham that did that. But it's all about just never say die with West Ham. That's all it really is about it. And it's like, I know people hate us because we got a dodgy deal with the stadium. Trust us, we hate the stadium. But what's done is bloody done in my book. We've got it. We're there. What's the point of moaning about it anymore? We've got shit owners, which a lot of teams don't have. Unless you're Newcastle, you probably don't know what it's like to have shit owners in the Premier League. But we find a way to muscle on through. And this season has just been. I haven't felt like this since I was very much younger, back in the 85-86 season.
Oh, good Lord.
Well, I mean, you should be on a high right now. Like I've gotten to where I don't even text my buddy who's a West Ham fan, because earlier in the season you guys would be winning and I'd text him like, "Come on, you Irons," and then like as I press send, a goal goes in for the other team. And so like I haven't even texted him today. So yeah, I'm not messing. I'll text him after the show. What's up, Rob Kennedy? He says West Ham fans are like Leeds fans. We expected to do this well, but can't quite believe we are doing this well. Enjoy it while it lasts is what we are doing. P.S. That stadium is awful for football. That's what I heard.
I agree with everything he says. I agree with everything he says. I mean, unfortunately, I've not been to the new stadium yet. I haven't. I mean, I still remember the old bowling. But hopefully I'll get to the stadium. And at the end of the day, as long as there's lads out there playing in claret and blue, I'm not going to give a shit about the stadium, because quite frankly, a lot of people talk about Upton Park being a wonderful ground. I've stood in Upton Park with rain pissing through the top of the stand and been miserable. Absolutely miserable. Yeah, we all like to remember the good times. But it is what it is, and it's all about, you can put up with a shit stadium if your team's performing on the pitch. And this year, thank God, they're performing on the pitch. So and we are like Leeds fans. I mean, like I said, I joked earlier that I've had some bust ups with Leeds fans, but I mean, Leeds fans back in my day, and I'm like in my 50s. You went up to Leeds, you knew you were not only going to have a good game on the pitch, but you knew you were going to have to try and figure out how the hell you got back to the train station, because Leeds fans were tough. They really were tough. They had a good firm up there. That's back in my impetuous youth when I was stupid, but we all went through that stupid phase, because you had no choice back then. You either became stupid or you got eaten. So I decided to be a little stupid, but they're a good team, and that back to your point from earlier, that's going to be an interesting match to see how we come up against Leeds next week. Really is. I'm looking forward to it very much so. Yeah, it could be a good one. So I want to talk to you right now. You guys don't really have any central strikers. I mean, I know it sounds like I'm neglecting Mikel Antonio, but Mikel Antonio has played in, I think, 8 of the 11 positions on the pitch. Yeah, so to call him an out-and-out striker is like, he kind of does everything. But besides Mikel Antonio, you don't really play with an out-and-out striker, do you?
Not really when you look at it. So, I mean, I know last week, we tried Bowen in that role. But like you said, Antonio's played everything in the pitch, and I think he's hungry, and I think that's the one thing you want most in a person that's playing that position. And I'm purposely not saying in a striker, but a person that's going to be playing in that position, whether they be an out-and-out striker or not, has to be hungry for the goal. They have to be able to have good hold-up play, and they've got to be able to sniff out those goals and just be around the box. And there's something that Antonio said in one of his interviews earlier on in the year, where Moyes had told him, just get in the box. don't worry about everything else. Just get in the box.
Well, that's hard when
it stuck with him, but it is hard, right?
It's hard when you have a player that you've asked to do everything, to then go on the pitch and just focus on this. And he's like, yeah, but I can get that ball. I can get that ball. I can get over there. And so I think that's why Haller had such a hard time when he came in, because Antonio does do a little bit of everything. Yeah. And then when Haller is there, people in the midfield who have gotten used to the work of Antonio are being let down by the work of Haller, which may, in the end may not be his fault. He may go on to have a brilliant career in more of a Giroud style role, Jamie Vardy style role, where you're not asked to do everything.
Yeah. I just love the lad. I really do. I mean, since the first time that he came on as a sub in 2015 against gosh, I can't remember who it was from now. But he came on as a sub, and the first time that he actually stepped on the pitch, he ran all the way from and he was playing right back at the time, I believe. He ran from the right back position all the way down to the box and nearly scored on his first ever run. And I remember turning to my mate Rich and going, "This is my man.
Yeah,
this is the geezer that I'm getting on my shirt." And I hadn't got anybody on the back of my shirt in years, because the last person I got was Scotty Parker, and he left for Tottenham. So I thought I don't want that to happen. But the kid's just got heart, no matter what positions he's been asked to play. I mean, yeah, he's got rubber bands for hamstrings. Let's be honest here. Yeah. And every time he takes a spurt like that, you hold your breath.
Yeah.
But we're a different team with him out there, because he plays with his heart on his sleeve, and he just really goes for it. And I think that's been the story of this season, is having those players that are really going for it on a whole. Even Ben Rama, someone that I hear people moaning, oh, well, he hasn't scored a goal. He's played like 18, 19 matches for you now. The kid off the ball, and you see the speed today? The speed that kid's got. It's only a matter of time. And plus, he seems to be buying into the whole mentality of it's about the team, it's about giving 100% out there and wanting to win. I feel awful he hasn't had a goal yet, but I know that goal will come eventually. And and the team as a whole are playing. They're playing out of their skins. They really are. And every single player is playing incredibly well. And it's just nice as a West Ham fan to be able to sit back and go, well, who in the top 4 do we want to lose this week, as opposed to who in the bottom 3 do we need to lose this week?
And what a better way to spend the season, right? I mean,
cheers. I'll drink to that, mate.
To that. Listen, I want to move on to Jesse Lingard and get your there you go, Guinness cheers.
Oh, love it.
But I want to address a comment that's been popping up. Mr. Dan Powers here. What's going on? Good morning, Dan.
I know Dan. He's one of my listeners. Yeah, Dan's a good lad.
Okay.
Oh, cool, man.
So
welcome.
He's asked a handful of times already what your expectations for Man City. Plus, it'll be on NBCSN. Mr. Director, can you put up my expectations for the Arsenal Man City? Do we have it? Or did we do?
Oh, I'd like to see it happen.
Listen, I called an Aubameyang hat trick last week. Now, I know that was against Leeds, but the dude hasn't scored anything in forever. It wasn't even a given that he was going to start.
Well, even a broken clock is right twice a day.
Exactly. And I've gotten one.
So you got one more to go.
Yep. And I'm thinking, Man City, somebody's putting stats up on there earlier today saying, like, it's been 15 years or something like that since Arsenal have beat City in the league at the Emirates at home.
It's been a while.
And so what that tells me is, okay, we're due. And then, people saying like City's just going to bring it at us. Arsenal's going to sit back and try to defend. We suck at that. So if Arteta does that, I may jump on the Arteta out train, because like right now we got 0 to lose. 0 to lose. We need to go at them, because if we lose 1-0 defending very well, and we lose 1-0 to a worldie from Gundogan or Sterling or somebody, it's just as bad as losing 8-0. to me. Like
it's going to be a tough game for you, though. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, they are such a good team.
They're amazing. They are absolutely amazing. Man City right now, and they're playing against people like you see coaches over here in Prospect Park, you know, dancing around the 5-year-old kids, trying to get the 5-year-old kids to come and get the ball from them. And they're nutmegging all these kids and like flipping it over the head. That's what City's doing with legit Premier League teams. So could that happen the entire time? Yes, sure. But I'm just saying, I'd rather call it that we're going to win. And if I'm wrong, yeah, it was a stupid opinion.
Here's a question for you, Yo. It's, do you call a game with your head or your heart? I mean, because that's my problem. I'll be like, I don't think we got this, but my heart says we need to get it. So I'll try and send those positive vibes out. And by doing that, it kills me. Absolutely kills me when we don't win a match. Yeah. So are you saying that because you really, really want it, or you really, really believe it?
Oh, I mean, that's definitely way more of a heart one. I mean, like, my head, like, I mean, come on, in my head.
Nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
But there's a little bit of my head that goes, it's football, and it's this 2020-21 season where anything can fucking happen. Who gave Man City their biggest challenge in the past month? Sheffield United.
Yeah.
Sheffield United, who can't win a game to save their life, gave them a hell of a time, and they snuck one goal in, and they won the game.
It's a crazy season. I mean, you can't dispute it. It's an absolutely crazy season.
And Ian's saying zero chance of that happening. Well, you know what? There was zero chance of Liverpool losing 4 matches in a row at home. Zero.
Oh, that's lovely.
So fuck off with that, man.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I'm of the opinion, and you said, that Arsenal are due. I don't believe any of that do shit. I worked in the casino business for nearly 20 years, and people would say when I was dealing with that, red has come up 10 times, black has to come next. Dude, it's 50-50 every time that I spin the ball, okay? And that's the way I feel about football. It's like, the ball takes a wacky bounce. You have an off day, you have a good day. You have Mike Dean as a referee. It's like, what is it? I mean, it could be anything. So I think they've got just as good a chance of nicking one as anybody else has. I think odds are that it probably won't be that way. I think a lot of us would like to see it happen. I've got some good mates who are Man City fans who actually, they always support West Ham whenever we're playing, because I don't know why. Maybe they just got like a death wish or something. I've no idea. But it would be interesting to see Arsenal get a win out of this.
Yeah, I think too. And maybe it's not a roulette style 50-50.
It's more like craps.
Maybe it's more like craps, yeah, where like 7 and 11, that's them, and we're like 4, like we're like double twos.
There you go.
And we're like,
there you go.
Yeah, but if double twos come up, that's 10-1. Like that's good money on there. So, and then I'm also in the belief of what you put out there. I like to be like, when I give my predictions, I like to say like, this is what's gonna happen, but what I believe could and should happen is this. So yes, Man City are probably going to win the game, but I care much more that I was right picking something crazy than I was wrong. Like, I don't care if I'm wrong when it was so clearly against me. Like, I would love to be like, I'm the dude who put 100 down on boxcars and it came up. That's only a one roll thing. I'm not sitting here the whole game.
You sounds like you're spending way too much time in those little dodgy casinos up there in Brooklyn, mate. And I know where they're at.
They're all closed.
Not enough.
They are all closed.
I used to, and I'm the type of guy that convinces people at 1 a.m. to get on the train or book a cab to Atlantic City.
Oh my God, a cab to Atlantic City. You got the money for that? Cool. Blimey, do me a favor.
No. We don't have the money, but I
That's
convinced
just it.
everybody we can win it.
That's just it.
We'll win it. I'll front you guys, and then we'll win it.
I miss living in Brooklyn. I really do. It was a great time living up there. I feel like I really lived when I lived in Brooklyn. And even though I'm from London, when people say to me, "What's your city?" Brooklyn will always hold a very special place in my heart. It's sitting on the stoop, freezing cold. In fact, probably where you're at right now is probably where I got hit by a yellow cab going back in probably 2005.
Yeah.
It's because I was busy walking across the street checking my BlackBerry.
We're trying to see it.
Right.
Yeah, I was like kind of like that, and all of a sudden I looked and I went, "Oh shit!"
Actually, you were talking about Cubana Cafe too. Mark is right there by Cubana Cafe.
Oh man, is Steven still in charge of that place?
Which one? The one on
Steven,
Smith?
the French guy.
On Smith Street.
There's a Cubana Cafe that's on Smith Street. That's
right,
the one
but then there's another one. There's another one up on Fulton.
I've never been to the one on Fulton.
Yeah. As far as I know, it's stayed the same management and ownership ever since I moved here, which was in 2008.
Oh, I loved that place. My wife and I used to call it our kitchen. In fact, I actually proposed to my wife in Cubana Cafe.
Oh wow,
so,
that's amazing.
Yeah. I miss the little bars and the cool restaurants in Brooklyn. I loved living in Brooklyn. I really did. It was a great time of my life. I mean, I was acting in the city, getting nowhere fast. But I can honestly say that it's the best time I've ever had in my life was attempting to be an actor in New York City and living in Brooklyn.
Nice.
Yeah. Well,
very nice.
We talk about it all the time. Like, we're paying rent. Like, wouldn't it, we could buy a house in Jersey. And my wife and I both say,
then we'd live in Jersey.
Like, is it better to be an actual adult and own something?
Yeah,
or
you do though. You own your memories, mate. You own your memories of living in Brooklyn. It's I've had too much fun in Brooklyn, way too much fun.
Hey, you didn't tell me Dan is in Brooklyn. Dan Powers has been in Brooklyn since June 1998. Best pizza calzone is Lucali's on Carroll and Henry.
I know that place. I know it.
It was the best place in Brooklyn.
It's
until
gone.
it got ruined by a bunch of TV shows, and the line stretches 5 blocks long, and you can't get in there anymore.
Yeah,
you're kidding me.
And Mark has changed all sorts of rules and how much beverage you can bring in and how long you can be there now because the demand is so high. Lucali's used to be great. Now you can't get in, so it's.
I used to go to this great little bar over in Red Hook, and I can't think of it now for the life of me. But when they were looking to expand the space for IKEA, they closed it down, and it was oh God, why can't I think of the name of it? Because I crawled out of that bar so many times at 5 o'clock in the morning, and but the places around there were just brilliant. And when I lived in Red Hook, it's like it'd be nothing to see a guy dumpster diving looking for sharp metal. It was like that's the way it was when I lived there. So I've lived I lived in Prospect Park. I had a little studio apartment right there on Lincoln Ave, where you went in the elevator and there was chicken wings there all over the place. It was boric acid round the front of my door. I miss it. I do miss it. So, but when I came down to Texas with my missus, I was like, it's so clean down here, and we were just ready. We were ready for the move, and you have to be ready to make a move like that. And I had some phenomenal years up in Brooklyn and Manhattan, and wouldn't trade them for anything in the world. And the greatest friends I've ever made are still, some of them are still up there. But that's a tough city to live in. Yeah.
Somebody told me a quote, or I don't know what you call it, where they found it, but they said down south, you make a friend a day. Up north, you make a friend every couple years, but that friend will be your friend for life.
Oh yeah.
So like down south, everybody's your friend for a moment. And it seems a lot more friendly, and it's harder up north to actually make friends. But those friends you make up here, up north, you've gone through so much to become friends that you end up being friends kind of for life.
Exactly. Exactly. And if your friend comes to your neighborhood, that's a true friend, because people are like, yeah, I got to take 3 trains to get there. I don't go there. I don't go there. I got to take 3 trains.
Yeah. My buddy lives in Harlem, and I'm like, oh, he lives upstate.
Yeah, right. It's crazy. I mean, I used to.
He says, I came from London to Brooklyn back in 1985. No place like it in the world. I've moved out of Brooklyn several times, but I always seem to find my way back here.
I miss it. I do miss it. I mean, there's just a vibe about Brooklyn that's just. I mean, I've just had some great times. I mean, I used to just decide where to go out. Where do you want to go tonight? I don't know. Let's go. You could go anywhere, and you could have a great time anywhere. There was none of that BS that you would get up in Manhattan. There really wasn't. Although I did have some fun times in Manhattan too. But yeah, it was a great time. I'll always cherish my times in Brooklyn. I'll always cherish my 17-inch wide stairwell up 200 steps to get to my apartment. So you know, that's what I'll definitely cherish. You know, lugging those groceries all the way up.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it was just a fun place.
Well,
I was down on Columbia Street in Carroll Gardens. So
yeah. So that's called Red Hook now.
It's the Columbian water. It's the Columbia waterfront now.
I saw that. I was like, you got to be bloody kidding me. You got to be kidding me. The Columbia waterfront.
It's actually it's developing quite nicely since the Pier Park. Starts at Atlantic and goes all the way to Dumbo, which I don't know the last time you were in Brooklyn, but Dumbo is a giant shopping mall now. It's quite sad. It's quite sad.
I left the city in 2006, and
I've
been back
before
a couple of times since, but even a couple of times I went back in 2010 for a while, and I went back in 2014, and I'm like, oh gosh, this place is changing. And where I used to live down on Columbia Street had definitely changed. It was changing when we were there. You were getting the people that were, you know, had their daddies and mommies that were paying for their rent while they were going to NYU or to FIT. You know.
Yeah, well, fellas, I was gonna try and switch us back over to West Ham Spurs, but then Dan Powers chimes in with more non-football talk. If there were still 3 baseball teams in NYC, who would be your team? Brooklyn Dodgers, aka them bums, New York Giants, aka the Polo Grounders, or the New York Yankees? I mean, I'd be a Brooklyn Dodgers fan. Because I'm in Brooklyn.
Guilty.
Yeah, I'm originally from California, and this is truly Dodger blue. I lived in Minnesota for a number of years, and I love my Twins, but this is Dodger blue. We lost Lasorda this year. I got a little misty-eyed. Yeah, Dodgers.
Yeah.
Although I got to admit, I always hated the Yankees. Can't stand the Yankees. I've never been a Yankees fan. I'm a big Mets fan, and I guess it's because they're more sort of blue collar than the Yankees were. But you know, I never really truly got into baseball. It was always like the game that I worked in the banking business up in New York for a while, and we would like get tickets all the time, and it'd always be tickets for the Yankees, and I'd be like, I'll go, I guess, but I don't really want to go. I'd really rather go to a Mets game. So, you know, the beer's just a little bit cheaper up at Shea Stadium. So,
you know, the NYCFC plays at Yankee Stadium.
That's crazy.
So weird. It's so
is that
weird.
called playing? Is that really called playing? I mean, I'm a big FC Dallas fan. And it's like I've got great friends, and Adam, who's with me on the podcast, he's got a lot of friends who actually play for FC Dallas. And I'm going back probably 10, 12 years ago. I used to run the supporters group for FC Dallas. And once they started showing Premier League back on telly properly, I was like, I can't watch this any longer. I can't. It's, you know, it's great for people to get into football, but it's just so much slower. It really is. And the skill level is just... although I still have a little spot in my heart for FC Dallas, but that's mostly because of the friends that I made because of FC Dallas. You know, and a lot of the players from back in the 2000s 2010s, and
Yeah.
onward. That were just really good, down-to-earth people. And that's what I loved about Major League Soccer at that time, is you could get to know the players really well.
Yeah. Well, you should check out some photos of NYCFC playing at Yankee Stadium, because my buddy has season tickets, and he's like in one of the upper decks, but he's like first row of the upper deck. And when you look down,
that's a vertigo moment.
That's where they take the corner from. So when they take a corner, you're like on top of them looking down.
Oh my gosh.
He says it's kind of awesome because you're so close to the pitch and you're so high up, like you're not way down here looking. But I don't know.
That's got to be one of the worst stadiums in the MLS, though.
No, oh yeah.
And
yeah.
now all of my MLS friends are going to say, you called it the MLS. It's not the MLS. It's MLS.
MLS. Yeah, I guess. Well, they probably say the ATM machine too. So
yeah.
All right, let's get back to a little bit more West Ham Tottenham, and I want to look ahead to your next.
Kick their ass, way.
Exactly. And I want to get back to. I want to look ahead to West Ham Leeds United, because I know we got a couple Leeds United fans on here. Ian is still pissed off about your Liverpool dig, but in all honesty, he's still pissed off about yesterday, and he should be. So let's get some Leeds United, West Ham United predictions. When is that match? That is
March 8th.
Isn't it like a Monday or something?
March 8th?
Yeah, that is a Monday.
Yeah.
I thought it was it's not your next match then.
No, next match is, I think, Aston Villa.
Oh, next match you have Man City after us. So yeah, they're gonna be pissed after losing to us. You guys got them bright and early, 7:30 in the morning, 6:30 your time, next Saturday.
Oh, good Lord, another early one.
Yesterday.
Man City, did you say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
So
we're going to beat them.
Mr. Tom was saying the next team to go to London Stadium, which is March 8th, you said?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah. So you guys don't play. Oh, there's a bunch of midweek matches the following week.
These midweek matches are killing me. It's like I'm exhausted trying to figure out how I'm going to watch the matches and do my work at the same time.
Listen, fellas,
I'm working from home.
We're doing 5-6 shows a week.
Listen, fellas, the three of us, Arsenal can beat City on Sunday. Then the following Saturday, West Ham can beat City. And then on Tuesday, Wolves play City. So guys, come on. We could take 9 points away from
that would be a wonderful trifecta, but I don't have that much.
The only thing I don't want that to happen
Wolves right now.
The only reason I don't want that to happen is because that would probably give the scum a boost. That would give Man United a little boost in searching for first place. But I told you, the Magic 8 Ball said, our Magic 8 Ball that we have on the Stoop says that Leicester City's going to win the league. And it also predicted on Thursday, everyone on our show said Liverpool was going to win, and the Magic 8 Ball said no. And
I don't think anybody would have seen Liverpool not winning that match. I mean, look at their record at home. I mean, it was inevitable. You would look to that and go, well, if anything is like a definite, Liverpool is going to come back from it. This is going to be a turning point for them, and they're going to bring it all home. Maybe it's time for Man City to go on a bit of a slide. Maybe it's time. Maybe they need to meet a couple of teams that have been struggling most of the season, and I think that's what it is. It's who really wants it more. They don't really have an awful lot to play for. I mean, they're up there, they're comfy. I think it would take a hungry team that really has something to prove. And today was a statement game for West Ham playing Tottenham. I mean, it really was more than anything else, and that's why it was squeaky bum time for me. It was when we step up to the plate and we say, okay, this is our spot. We're putting our name on it. We're going to do it. And I see a game against Man City as being that as well. I think we have to go take it to them. We've got to give them a game. I get the feeling that Moyes will probably play something similar to what we did a few weeks back, where we had against Villa, where we had who was it, Fredericks and Sufal on there that were really like muscling it at the back. But I could see, it's the Premier League. Anything can bloody happen. And I've got
Yeah.
to go with my heart and say that we've got it within us to have enough belief to go there and take it to them. So, and I don't see any reason why Wolves and why Arsenal can't do that too. Maybe one of us should, right? The
Yeah.
odds are that
You
they're
would
going to
hope.
slip up at
You
some
would
point.
hope.
So Dan is asking, what bag of tricks do West Ham have against Man City? Here's the thing. It's not about our bag of tricks, because really when you're playing City, City's playing and the other team is there. So it's less about what you do and more about
what
how
they don't do.
how they're going to come at you. So versus Sheffield United, they were just throwing everything at it because they know they were going to sit back. But when they came out against Everton, I think it was a little bit like they gave a little bit of respect, and that's actually why Everton got a goal, was because City fell back a little bit. So my thing is, it's more about Man City taking it easy on the likes of Wolves and West Ham, and not that any team takes it easy, but maybe not having full focus. For Arsenal, I think it's going to be bringing back Kevin De Bruyne too soon, because Gundogan has a knock. So Gundogan will probably, if he doesn't start, he'll be on the bench. Yeah, that's kind of a ridiculous statement, but I think he's going to be healthy enough to be in the lineup in some form or another. But I think Kevin De Bruyne, they're going to push him to start. And for me, I'm like, why would you change? Like, you're doing fine without De Bruyne, the same way you're doing fine without Aguero. Give them another week or so to keep recovering. So I think them switching from what's already working so well is going to be that's going to be our bag of tricks. That's going to be our little thing that may give us a little edge. And our midfield, Arsenal's midfield right now, is playing, at least in the past couple of games, they're getting tighter, and they're younger and faster and playing better together. So we can surprise them.
I think a lot of it with West Ham right now is the fatigue is setting in with every team. Let's be honest here; they're all playing every couple of days, which is really tough. And I look at players like that have really made a difference to West Ham. Players like Souček, like Soufal, like Dawson. I'm just wondering how much more gas they've got left in the tank, and that's a concern of mine. And we don't have a lot of people. If if we lose somebody in the midfield, I mean, we can rely on good old Mark Noble. But I mean, he's 33 years of age, and what he's got in his heart, he definitely doesn't have in his step any longer. So I think there are a lot of factors that play into this. I still think that we could probably benefit from the fact that, like you said, Man City, they're looking at other things right now.
Yeah.
They really are looking at other things.
They're looking at the quadruple. I know in Pep's mind, that's what he's going for. And the league is almost done. So I think right now he would start De Bruyne over Gundogan, because Gundogan's more important right now. And if he has a knock, better to keep him safe, bring De Bruyne back. Maybe a tiny bit early, but he's ready. And he's still De Bruyne. It's like, are you kidding me? So... But I think you're right. They've got other focus. And right now, West Ham, are you guys still in the FA Cup?
No, we bowed out to
the League Cup.
Well, I tell you, we're in no cup, mate. We're not even in the bloody Betway Cup, which is one we run ourselves.
So but, listen, you guys are
in a cup full of whiskey. That's what I'm in, and that's about the only cup I can guarantee every year.
But listen, if you guys are going for top 4, because that right now, I would say that's where your goalpost is, top 4. And it's doable. You guys have a luxury in that you're not playing midweek. Look at Man City. They're playing multiple games. Like every week, they're playing a game. If, like, even next week, they're not this coming week, but the following one, they're not playing in a cup, but they're playing a makeup match.
True, but it's West Ham. It's West Ham. It's like we will find a way to shoot ourselves in the foot. Being a West Ham supporter my whole life, I know that you can't count on too much, which is why I'm enjoying this so much. It wouldn't surprise me if something happens and then we don't win another game for the rest of the bleeding season and we find ourselves in a relegation battle. I mean, it's just the way West Ham works. It really is. I don't think it's going to happen this year. There's a feeling, a special feeling that I haven't felt. I didn't even feel it in 15-16 where we had, Payet who was playing out of his skin.
Yeah.
But it feels like the 85-86 season where we had a shot at doing things. I think we're going to finish. I think we'll certainly finish in the top 6. I don't know that we'll finish in a Champions League spot. I'd love to see us do that. It would be phenomenal. If we did that, my concern is, blimey, we'd need to get some depth in this squad, because I don't know how we would take that on next year. I really don't know. I'm even concerned about Europa. I would be happy if we could go through Europa and actually do some decent stuff in Europa, rather than getting knocked out to a team called Astra Gugu. Would be really wonderful.
It brings so much money. It brings so much money, though. Like
it does, but it takes such a toll on your squad.
Yeah.
Well, Mark, you as a Wolves fan, you know that, right?
Yeah. It almost hurt you guys the first year when you went up.
Yeah.
Mark, we can't hear you. Unplug and plug back in your mic if you do. Let's see. No, we can't hear you.
I would have said you know it as an Arsenal fan, Lolo, but I mean it's not been the case lately, has it, mate?
No, it hasn't. But I want to say what I think is different for West Ham than a normal season. There's 2 matches in particular. There's today where you showed heart, you showed determination. You sat on your lead for just a minute and then got gut checked. But you pulled it through. You pulled through and you fought for the last, even when the 5-minute came on board came up, I felt the entire team went, fucking hell. That match, and then the cup match against United, where you went into extra time just a couple weeks ago, or last week maybe.
That gutted us.
You went in with a depleted squad. You went in without Mikel Antonio, with I think maybe Ogbonna was first out or something.
Yeah.
I just remember you went in with a depleted squad, and you forced them to bring on everyone. Yeah. Bruno Fernandes.
And you know what? If Dawson had connected just a little bit better with that header, it might have been a different story. It may have been a different story. But that's the way it works, right? And I love beating Manchester United. When you look at the last game that ever played at the Bowl-In against Manchester United, that was the epitome of a West Ham squad then that really just had grit and determination and wanted to bring it home. And when Winston Reid scored that final goal at the Bowl-In, it was just like you could have lifted up the whole of the East End. You really could have done. And we can do that against Man U. That we tend to lift ourselves in those games against Manchester United. We've had some close calls with some good teams this year. I mean, we probably should have beat Liverpool earlier on in the season. It probably should have happened. I think we played it a little bit safe. I don't think we had enough confidence in ourselves as a team at that point. More importantly, I don't think Moyes at that time had confidence in the personnel.
Yeah.
But as the season's gone on, he's got more confidence, and I think that the team have had more confidence in his decisions. Where we all questioned what he was telling the squad to do early on in the year, it really is turned into the fact that in Moyes we trust now. We are Moyes' Claret and Blue Army right now. It's just a pleasure being a West Ham fan right now, and I don't know that we've copped a load of flack from people because of the stadium and stuff, and it's the East End. There's always been dodgy deals in the East End. End of story. It doesn't matter who's been in charge of the club or any club in the East End, whether it be West Ham or whether it be Leyton Orient or whether it be Southend. There's always some dodgy dealing going on, and we're used to it. We're totally used to it. But this season does feel special. I think we could pull some real cool tricks out of the hat. As far as our bag of tricks is concerned, I think people know what our bag of tricks is.
Yeah.
Do they know how to beat it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we've found a few tricks that seem to work for us. We've got that feeling that we can do anything right now, and it's a big difference knowing that when West Ham go out on the pitch now, you don't go, oh shit, we're playing Tottenham. This is going to be a brutal match, because they always get us at home. I mean, it is a different mentality that West Ham has this year, due to a lot of things. It's brilliant. So, Dan, give it up, mate. It's over. It's over. I think it became a foregone conclusion that we were going to leave Upton Park as soon as Tottenham said that they wanted to move into the London Stadium. I think that's when it all happened. It was pretty obvious to anybody that realised it back then that if Tottenham had moved into London Stadium, they wouldn't have kept that stadium. They would have probably flattened it and built themselves a new one. But the sort of people that are moving into that area now, it's not the old East End like it used to be. You're getting a lot of yuppies move into that type of area now. Stratford has turned into like a big shopping complex. It would have dragged some people away from West Ham. I hate to say that. I think it would have done. And I think, as much as we all hate Gold Sullivan and Brady for some of the lies, all of the lies that they've told us, and all of the exaggerations which have really not come to fruition, you have to say that they did what they had to do, I think. And I think that's what it is. I think most of us understand that they did what had to be done. It's just the fact that they could have done it so much better.
Yeah.
And they could have made the stadium a lot better, and the experience for fans could have been a lot better. So,
Mr. Tom, the Westfield Shopping Center is great, to be fair.
It is nice to have some, but I would go back and I would miss places like Ken's Calf and Nathan's, and the pubs like the Queen's, the places. I mean, when you used to go to the old Upton Park, you could smell horse shit and beer and puke. I mean, that was the smell that met you when you got out of the tube, and it was just lovely. It was our home. It was our home, and you could go to one of any number of pubs and meet friends. You could go get yourself a good fry up before the match. You could get yourself double pie, double liquor, and if you're feeling really boisterous, a portion of jelly deals. So we are those eel munching Londoners. But those days, unfortunately, it's gone. They're gone. They're gone, and we move on. We move on. It's the world's moving on, mate.
Yeah.
Old sods like myself will remember the good old times, and we'll moan about it, because that's what old sods do, right? You moan. It's not the same as it used to be. I miss the pub. I miss my pie mash before a match. So I don't want to bloody walk, 20 minutes from the bloody tube to get to a stadium. I'm bloody knackered by the time I get there, and then have to walk up this bloody long set of stairs to get to my bleeding seat, and I need binoculars to see the players. That's the nature.
Just wait till the new era comes in, where you're gonna say, I hate these new stadiums where I'm 6 feet away from the next fan. We used to be arm in arm, spitting on each other.
Yeah.
And now we're all in masks. So there's always something new to complain about.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But
it's a crazy
listen,
world.
Wayne, it's been great talking to you. I need to start prepping for my match that I need to focus on right now, which is the Gunners taking care of Man City. But listen, we would love to have you on anytime you want to be on. This Thursday, we're doing our weekend watch list, where we tell our fans which are the 3 matches that aren't usually, like, I don't get to pick an Arsenal, Mark doesn't get to pick a Wolves. So we pick the matches that should mean the most to a fan. Like, if you had to watch 3 matches this week besides your club, these are what you should watch. And so I think definitely West Ham and Leeds is going to be. Next is West Ham City. West Ham City could be a big one.
It could be one.
Especially, like, if, I guess, us getting some points doesn't really matter. But you guys are quote unquote punching above your weight. And so the match today was punching above your weight, even though you're ahead of Spurs on the table going into it. It's still punching above your weight.
I mean, I would agree with you like that. It's people joke about it was our cup final today. There's something special about sticking it to the Spuds. It really is.
And when they have a full squad too. It wasn't like Kane was out. It wasn't like Son was out. They were both on the pitch, and
He
Gareth Bale
manhandled
came
them.
on.
Yeah, it's good.
It wasn't
It's
a backup keeper. It was Loris, who is going to lose his job in France to Melier.
yep.
Telling you that much, Leeds
Well,
fans.
I know that me and Adam would love to come on the show again. You know, like I said, Adam's the knowledgeable one out of us two. I will admit that he really, my brain is old. I'm an old geezer. I remember the good old days, and I remember those foggily. But I mean, we have a blast. I really appreciate you having us on your show. It's been an absolute blast. You know, we've just got our little podcast. We have a lot of fun with it. There it is, right down there. Right down there.
Go check it out. West Ham is Why We Drink podcast. Very fun podcast. If
we're
you're
very
West
irreverent.
Ham
We're not your typical podcast. We have fun. It's all about having a bubble. So for you Americans out there, it's all about having a laugh.
Yeah.
So but we've got some great listeners and people like Dan that came on your show today and made some comments. We've got phenomenal listeners. We've got a great big Facebook group. Join us in our Facebook group. We have some great stuff. I'll be heading right over there now to see if I need to moderate any comments. But I'm not doing anything. But no, it's just a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun.
Well, fantastic. This has been a whole heck of a lot of fun. And I will get you a copy of this. I mean, you'll be able to find it on YouTube, no problem. But I'll try and get you a copy to send it over in case you want to use anything for the podcast. And
cheers, mate.
Listen,
appreciate it.
We'd love to be on the podcast if you ever want an outside view of something, or we could just talk Brooklyn, whatever you want.
Maybe when we play Arsenal next, we could have you on and we could have a little bit of banter.
Let's do it. We'll go back and forth. Or you could record your show and we'll be doing it live on my channel, and then it'll go onto the show. Who knows? We'll see.
We'll work it out.
We'll work it out. But it's been a blast. I think we lost Mark to some technical difficulties, but it's about time for me to put on the Arsenal kit and cheer for my club.
Good luck today, mate.
Mr. Tom, no, we're not live streaming Arsenal City. I think we're going to get out of the live match watch along game for a little while. It's just oversaturated with Arsenal live match watch alongs. So, and then I don't get to pay attention to football as much, and it kind of makes me mad. So, we'll see. Maybe next season when the channel's bigger and bigger and we're making a little bit of money, then I'll suck it up and do some live match watch alongs. But we will be live after the match to discuss how in the hell Arsenal destroyed City.
Good luck, mate.
I'm not giving up.
Never give up.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Cheers,
go and check out West Ham is Why We Drink podcast. It's a fantastic podcast. Even if you don't care about West Ham, go there, give them a like, give them a subscribe, whatever, all of that. Cheers. Don't have my cocktail, but cheers to you, man. Thank you guys so much. Like, subscribe. We'll see you back in a couple of hours for Arsenal Man City. Peace from the Stoop.